For October 14th, 2014, and before looking for any amendments to the agenda, I want to thank Selectman Livingston and Selectman Luker for picking up the slack last week. I know Janice was under the weather, and I do appreciate her coming in and getting through the important stuff last week. So, and I know Gary, you weren't feeling well either, so I do appreciate that. And Janice is not going to be joining us tonight. She's still okay. And before we, do we have any amendments to the agenda? Robert?
Mr. Chairman, through you to the board, under the DPW Superintendent's report, the recognition of Doug Jasperson, if the board could table that, we'll move that to a future meeting.
Okay.
And if there is an objection, under my report, on item number 4, which is a request and change of hours for the Vineyard, the Jack-o'-lantern, and Archer's Mobile. And a 5th item, which would be BOS approval of a $36,000 purchase order for the police chief's cruiser.
Sure. Gary, do you have anything?
Yeah. Just building inspector
Okay.
discussion.
Actually, I
Under
want
new business.
Sure. The position as a whole.
The position as a whole, like a new position, we need to do something.
Agreed. And so we'll put that on the new business at the end.
So,
Is that it?
okay.
Anything else? I'm sorry, Gary.
John, I didn't hear, Robert, I wasn't paying attention. Did you do the liquor license thing?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's number 4, the change of
hours
hours.
change.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
All in favor, Gary?
Aye.
Chair says, what's that? Yeah, a second. Sorry, I'm going to have to get used to that tonight. My apologies. Second. Gary says aye. The chair says aye. The amendment is approved. Is anybody here for public input? Oh, I'm sorry. Ernie, you want to come up? Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I have my line here. I need to borrow a pen, too. Sorry.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Ernie?
I'd like to bring up about the senior work-off program. I've had several seniors ask me about it, and I know it's been a while. It's been probably around a year and a half since anything's been accomplished on it. So they were asking me, I did come down last week and get some info on it, but I like to have it where it's on TV so more people will know about it, about
Sure.
what's going on. Like, for instance, when it's going to start, and when they can get the applications, and is it funded, and all that type of stuff, you know, to start, and how many hours can they work, whatever. This is all information they wanted to know, they asked me.
No, it's actually great questions. I think there was some issues initially with taxes or something, and that's been sorted out, correct?
Yeah.
And now it's, okay, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, and to Mr. Girton's question, and a very good one, because the town has been very patient in waiting for that. The town meeting has adopted the statute to do the senior work-off program. Initially, there were some tax issues, not with participants, but that the town had to set up. We do have some approved projects from the department heads, and we'll be rolling out the program the first of the year. The payroll benefits manager will be overseeing the town side of the administration of the program. So any seniors that are interested at this point, it would be best if they came to the Board of Selectmen's office and left their name and contact number. And once, right after the first of the year, we can get them an application, and we will unroll that program for 2015.
Okay, so you don't know when the actual start date will be? When they can actually...
When they can actually start, we will know that.
Where it counts for them as far as for money for their taxes and stuff, is what I'm talking about. I don't know what's been funded.
January 1st, I think,
January 1st.
so it would be for 2016's taxes, correct? January 1st?
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it would go.
Yeah, I'm getting fiscal year in my head, sorry.
It goes in the third quarter tax bill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, how much can they earn? Is there any, do they have the specifics on how far they go? Does it depend on how many people apply?
No, I thought it was up to, no, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought it was up to $1,000 at the first go
Yeah.
of this.
The whole program's funded for $10,000 for both years. So, depending on how many hours, a maximum of 1,000 per household.
Maximum of 1,000, so that'd be just roughly 10 people roughly that could do that.
If they work the full allotment, but you don't have to. You can only work,
So many,
portion of it.
or they can work so many of the
Yes,
hours.
Yeah.
some of them will be, when I say
Okay.
project-based, some assignments say maybe a 4-hour project. Some may, be more. So,
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And we've asked the department heads and whatnot to kind of put together some ideas and some, things that will work too. So it's really a good program, and I'm glad you brought it up.
It
'cause it's
is,
something
yeah.
you should,
And it helps a lot of the seniors.
Absolutely.
Well, it helps
Yeah.
some of them, I'm saying that,
you could take $1,000 off my tax bill.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
great.
Even 500 for some,
Sure.
300, whatever it is, for some of
Right.
them, it makes a big difference.
No, absolutely. And it helps the town too, so
Yeah.
thanks for
Okay.
bringing it up.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that the people heard it out there.
Yep, and we'll follow up with it too,
Yeah.
once we get closer to that, and maybe make some announcements on the website and whatnot to get it
Okay,
up there.
that'd be good on the website, or
Yep.
even mention it here.
Facebook, yep,
Once in a
absolutely.
while, for them, there's a lot that watch it, so.
Yep,
All right, thanks a lot.
thanks, Ernie.
Yeah.
Just one thing, I apologize as in my haste to get this going. I wanted to make a couple announcements, and then Robert may want to elaborate. The annual, sorry, rough night. The annual tree lighting is December 7th, 2014. Hope we have much better weather than we did last year.
6 PM.
At 6 PM at the Rotary. And anybody that wants to donate or help or whatnot, please feel free to contact Carly or myself. It's a really nice event. It's just a shame it rained last year, and we still had a ton of people out there. So looking forward to that. The election is the 11th, I'm sorry, November 4th, 2014. There'll be no meetings that night in Town Hall per state law. And the winter parking ban, 15th of November to the 15th of April. No parking on the streets. I can't say this enough. It really does hinder the DPW when there are cars parked on the street. So everybody, I know it's tough to get your cars off the street sometimes, but please try to adhere to that. And that starts on the 15th of November. And it only pertains to snowstorms, correct, Mark? If it's a snowstorm, or is it?
It's every night
Okay,
and snowstorm.
okay,
It's from 12:01 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Okay.
every night
all right,
and during snowstorms.
okay. That's very important. And then also and I'll let Robert elaborate as he was in attendance, the Habitat had the groundbreaking last Tuesday, I believe?
Yes, the Habitat for Humanity for North Central Mass had their groundbreaking at 76 Central Ave last Tuesday, October 7th. The groundbreaking was well attended. Senator Eldridge, Representative Harrington, many state and local officials were on hand to sort of have a ceremonial groundbreaking. The final purchase and sale, if you will, that transfers the land will be forthcoming to this board. Construction is scheduled to commence in the spring. At some point, this board will want to revisit the issue of the connection fees. And lastly, I've asked that Habitat, any information they have on getting people involved and so forth, any materials, would be happy to promote it here from Town Hall. And the application process for the families, it's a duplex structure, so it's two residential units. They have not selected the families, and that process is also going to be underway. So,
Do you know if that is that preferential treatment to Ayer residents, or how does that work? Or is it just a big, and I'm sorry, that would be a better question probably for the Habitat people, but.
yeah, I mean, they have a whole application process and lottery process, so I don't want to speak
Sure.
out of turn whether.
Maybe we can have them in before the end of the
Yeah.
year, just to kind of
Mhm.
refresh our memory.
Can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know either. I thought,
It should be.
yeah, that's a good point. And that was it for announcements, correct?
Mhm.
Anybody else have anything? On to appointments, Zoning Board of Appeals. Robert?
Mr. Chairman, through you to the board, it gives me great pleasure to recommend for the board's consideration the appointment of Mr. Sam Goodwin to a 3-year term on the Zoning Board of Appeals from July 1st, 2014 to June 30th of 2017. This would be as a member of the ZBA. Mr. Charles Schultz has resigned from the ZBA and from the Personnel Board, so he would be filling that vacancy.
Okay, so we're not, the alternate is not,
Correct. Originally, unless the candidate objects, originally it was to be an alternate.
we pulled you in, Sam.
So he would be the fifth member of the ZBA, and then Mr. Gibbons is the alternate, and we still have room for one more alternate by statute.
And it was quite the long meeting the other night too, wasn't it? So we
Yes.
just got a lot done, so,
Good job, Kelly.
yeah, good job.
And the candidate is.
Yeah, Sam, do you mind just popping up here for a second? We appreciate you stepping forward for this. This is very important, especially lately. It seems like we've had some quorum issues, so thank you for doing this. I did see you wrote alternate initially, but like I said, we pulled you in.
That's fine, whatever I can do.
And it says that you were actually on the planning board up in New Hampshire, where you live up
Planning
there,
board
so-
and ZBA both.
Great. so you have
Pretty close to
experience.
7 years.
Wow. No, absolutely. I think it's fantastic. Thank you for stepping forward. Gary?
No,
Anything I could do to help, be glad to.
Thank you.
it's always nice to have someone else, someone step up, and we appreciate it, I'll make a motion that we appoint Sam Goodwin to a term from July 1st, 2014 to June 30th, 2017 for zoning board of appeals.
A second. All in favor? Gary?
Right.
Chair says aye. Welcome aboard, Sam, to
Thank you.
Ayer Town Politics. You already live it a little bit, but
Yes.
we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Is Alicia here yet? I'm sorry, I didn't.
Yep.
Oh, there she is. She's hiding behind Sam. Alicia, come on up.
Hi, how are
Hey,
you?
Alicia.
Can I start with an announcement?
Sure.
This is to the whole town. We have our community block survey. This is for the strategy of the town. We need to update that before we put in for our new application, for our new grant application. It's on the website under announcements. It's called a CDBG survey. You just need to click on that link. It will take you to the survey link. And I need as many people from town responding to that survey. It doesn't take 5 minutes.
Could we get that up on the Facebook site too? I mean, I just, just
Yeah,
sometimes when
I'll-
it's in your face, if Cindy could put it up on
Okay.
Facebook,
Yep,
if it's just a
yep.
few minute thing, that'd be.
So I just want to make sure, we've had 74 responses so far. I'd love to get to 200, but that's kind of unheard of on this sort of thing, but I think we could possibly do it. So just want everybody out there, please go to the town website and take the survey.
Is it on APEC?
It's been on APEC a couple times. I can put it on again. Because when it switched from September to, I think it's on, but I'll double check.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mary?
just so that Alicia knows, David handed out a lot of surveys at the zoning board meeting last week.
Oh, okay, good.
And a lot said they do that, but they also said they'd go online and do it, so she should get a good response.
All right.
yes, we've been going to different boards and handing them out and asking people to do it, but just every time we get a chance to ask, we do ask again.
Sure, that's a good idea.
So let's start with the subsidized housing inventory update. Is that okay? I don't know how it's
However you want to
listed.
proceed, Alicia, it's fine with us.
Okay. So I just wanted to update you on the report. We actually got this in the summer, but we've been very busy and it's gotten tabled a couple times before. The Ayer's inventory stands at 8.31%. That was a drop of 13.13% over the past 2 years. We lost 4 units, but that was normal attrition because most units are in for a 15-year rotation or so. Some are in for longer, depending on how they were built and what kind of restrictions they have on them. In July, we had a lottery for the Willows. There's going to be 13 units at the Willows, so as those come on, those will be added in. And we had 3 units coming up at the Willows, so in July 14th, we did have a lottery there for the first 3 that are coming up. And also the 2 Habitat. One of the reasons we've been a little bit slow on getting the selection for the families is that we're getting them approved by DHCD so that they will count in our inventory as well. And so there's some hoops to jump through on that, but as soon as that's done, and we're very close to having that done, then the selection process will go forward. So that's 2 more units. I did submit 11 units for possible approval. Now, DHCD has changed how you get them approved, so I was kind of stretching it a little bit and seeing if we could get any of these 11 units approved. I figured send it in and they can just send it back if they
Sure.
won't do it. Because they have changed the regulations on that. But we hope to get that number closer to 10% in the next couple of
Is
years.
10%, is that what the state is, I mean, I know
Yeah.
there's hardly any communities that are at 10%, but that's
There's
pretty.
hardly any communities at 6
No,
and 7%.
absolutely.
So Ayer's doing great, and the fact that we've got 15 coming down the pipe,
Sure.
which could possibly, I haven't done the numbers, but that should get us pretty close.
No, that's great.
But we will have some attrition as well, so we always have to keep adding as we go forward.
Do you know,
Go ahead, Gary.
Alicia, how it's set up as far as who gets a shot at the
The
habitat?
habitat, I know we discussed it being, have a preference to an Ayer residence. I have to go back and read the RFP to make sure that's how we settled it. And the marketing, I haven't seen the final report from Maggie. We talked back and forth. We pushed to have it a preference for an Ayer resident. In the lottery for the Willows, everybody who came in was Ayer residents. So, I mean, and so the first 3 people for these next 3 units that are coming up are all Ayer residents, so that's good. And yes, I think we put it in for Ayer residents, but I'm not, I need to reread the RFP and make sure it confirmed that. And I'll be happy to do that and just send you a note or something.
There are nice units up there too, the affordable
Oh,
units.
yeah.
Yeah, they really are.
They're very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the next one is our Department of Mental Health grants. And we have a second grant, we've received a second grant, just got notice for it. So I don't know, let me just, one is a trauma grant, and it's from SAMHSA, and this is the 3rd year of the trauma grant. And that one is for $318,486, and I have the contracts, and I need the whole board to sign the contracts, okay? On that one, there's 2 contracts, so just so we can get originals for both parties. And then the new grant is a behavioral health grant, and it's also for drug court. It's going to be, what happened is advocates lost some of their funding, so they came to us and said, hey, will you stand up for us and try and help us get some of the funding, more funding back in there. And this is going to be a little bit more, I can have Hillary, she was supposed to come but then got sick, and so if you have questions, we can have Hillary, who's the director, come in and talk to us. But this is going to have a little bit more open way of using it so that they can actually use it for people off the street as well as drug court, which I think is an advantage to the town. So
They do a good job.
they do a very good job. So I just have both of those contracts to sign, and you to vote on them and then sign them, and that you approve them. And
And you'll need Selectman Livingston's signature also.
yeah, I'll leave them with you, Carly, if that's okay. So there's tags.
Go ahead, Gary.
So do you want,
There's tags on those. I'm not sure if there's tags on these.
do you want 2 separate motions or all together is fine? Robert, what do you think?
I would,
Yeah,
through the chair, I'd do
separate, yeah.
separate where they're
Yeah,
2
I'm not
separate.
All right.
Wait a minute. I might gotta make sure I've got the right ones here. I thought I went through everything.
And these are both with Advocate, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that the board sign contracts between the town of Ayer and Advocates for SAMHSA trauma grant in the amount, 3rd year of the program, and the amount of $318,460.
Second. All in favor? Gary?
Aye.
Chair says aye. Motion passes.
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead, Gary.
I also like to make a motion that the town of Ayer sign a contract between the town and Advocates for the behavioral health grant, an amount of $341,315. Both of these run from September 30th, 2014 to September 29, 2015, correct?
Correct.
Second. All All in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. Motion passes. It's still weird with two people here.
Should be easier, Chris.
I know, it's just... Brain's not here.
We're getting used to it.
Yeah. There's the two and two more.
Oh, great. So you're all set with me? Thank you.
I think so.
Nice to see you, Alicia.
Good to see you, thank you.
Alicia, I got a question on the grant to CDBG.
Okay.
When does that have to be in? Is that-
Well, technically, they always say end of December, but it always gets extended a month or so.
Okay.
So we've got a lot of work, and we really would love to get the community strategy done, which is that whole survey part of it. And anybody who wants to get some input in, they're welcome to just call my office too and talk about it. It's interesting things that are coming up on the survey as to what people want to see get done, so that's, and I'll put that out. I'll put the whole survey out for the town to see, so they can read the responses and things like that.
Great, thank you.
Okay? Thank you.
Nice to see you, Alicia. Have a good evening.
Yep,
Good
you
work.
too.
Give me a second here.
Page.
We have Lieutenant Janiskevich and Jeremy, you want to come up for is Kelly going to be?
Rich was supposed to be down for the police, so I haven't seen him yet.
No, I haven't seen him.
Yeah,
Do
we're a few
you mean we can, do you want to, do
Maybe-
you mind hanging and we'll just skip ahead a little bit? And
Maybe
it's-
take Ms. Copeland.
Yeah, that's what I was
report.
thinking, if you don't mind, Jeremy, just to wait for him to come down. Susan, do you mind stepping up to the plate here?
Hi,
Hi, Susan.
how's everyone?
Oh, great, you?
Fantastic.
Great, thanks. So, just wanted to do an update on things that have been happening since I've come aboard. So that's what we have. I did a brief little outline. So when I first came in, I wasn't gonna really try to do too many changes off the bat, but I really couldn't help myself, and
Thank God.
I have really good.
It's a nice way of putting it, thank
Well,
you.
that, and I had the full support of Mona and Lori to get, their
Sure.
encouragement to get things done, so it just kind of, we just went ahead. So, the first thing is with processing payments in the office. We currently are scanning payments into the Century Bank. It's also the same bank where our lockbox is located. So I looked into it because with processing checks through the North Middlesex account, what we can do is have it changed, reprogrammed, that we can process those checks directly into the Century account here in the office. So as opposed to Mona bringing the deposit over, she'll just scan it right into Century, so we can cut out that step.
It saves time, obviously.
And yeah, maybe eventually doing without that North Middlesex account,
Sure.
which has been an issue, but overall, just it'll be easier. She can just scan as she goes. The second thing is we received the lockbox files, but it was initially only set up to my computer. So I received the software license. I'm going to work with Cindy to put it on Mona's because it makes sense. We both have access to it.
Sure.
So that'll just help us get, because with doing a lot of the online processing, we processed over $2 million in 2 days for the first quarter
Wow.
taxes. Just, it's so much more efficient. So
Wow.
a lot of
And-
people are
You
online.
find a lot more people are going.
A lot of
this.
people escrow their payments, so it's coming from these companies.
Yeah.
And they can just,
Sure.
they just load it in and then we just download it. It's all secure as opposed to it coming FedEx courier and everything. So there are startup costs to it that I'm working out with Century, but the startup cost now obviously outweighs
Absolutely.
the future. So I don't have the exact figures. I kind of hoped I would have it, but again, I'm still waiting for them to finalize it. It should be up and running for the second quarter tax bills.
Great.
So we'll be able to have that processing going through. So, but, and again, she's not here, but Cindy Knox, she's been awesome helping me get all that stuff going. And Mona's been great with learning how to download and upload and everything else. So it's really worked out good. Having said that, I'd just like to make a friendly reminder that second quarter tax bills are due November 3rd. So you can be sure to go online to make a payment. We have our lockbox out front, or you can always come in to the town hall during business hours. We will gladly take your payments.
Or use the
And-
mail.
Well, if you want to. I'm not
People
sure
still
about the
do that?
postal service, but you can sure give it a try. But if you're going to go to the post office, you might as well use the lockbox. See? Tough crowd.
Thank God for Amazon, Gary. Thank God for Amazon.
And another thing regarding taxes, because we went from semi-annual to quarterly, with the bills, you received the 2 bills, some people wanted a reminder. So we have put it out in newspaper, social media. APAC was awesome. They got all of our requests out. So I'm lenient on spending money on getting specific signs. I think if we just keep on pushing, people will just remember that aren't on an automatic payment, that November, and then again in the spring, May is going to be your follow-up payments. So thank you to APAC for getting that done. The other thing is the shredding and document removal update, which again, coordinating with Cindy and Carly and Robert, we let him sit in. But we decided...
Have you seen his office? Yeah, he needs to sit in.
Yeah. Progress.
we cornered him with a broom. So we've decided December will be a good date to do all this. We've gone through both offices, other departments. I have a lot of documents that are not due for being destroyed until between now and November. So it's kind of, we can just wait off a little longer and then just have one big humongous party. So we're doing that.
And they do it on site, if I recall, right?
Yeah,
They come in and...
through the chair, just to be clear, it's an on-site service, but this is all in coordination with the Secretary of State.
Of course.
The Public Records Office
Sure.
has approved, so, just to be clear that there's a detailed and legal procedure underway.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
No,
She
thank
said
you.
shredding party, I just...
Well,
I also said to avoid the post office. My approval ratings. So move around. Speaking of which, let's talk about the update on hours. Which, in my humble opinion, I think is going great for my office. I can speak for. We've gotten great feedback, especially the evening hours. People able to come in and be able to work out some past due tax balances with people, and just having that there, that they don't have to take the time off, coming to get copies, all the services that we offer, even getting a lot of minutes and things from other boards that they can finally come in. So it's going good. It's not perfect. We're still working things out. There's still sometimes on a Friday afternoon someone's, comes around at 3 or left a message, but I think overall it's been well received, and so we're just gonna keep plugging away at it. The other item is a purchase of a new copier for the office. The copy machine is on its last leg. We've tried repairing, and it's a waste of money. Cindy and even the repair guy says it's not worth it to pour any more money. We've probably poured over $1,000 of repair. So again, Cindy went and found a very reasonable priced full copy scanner for the office, which is good because now not only are birth records online through the state, but death certificates are now all done through the computer. It's all electronic. All the burial permits, everything's done electronically now with the doctor's office, with everything. So we have to have the machine to keep up with the time. It's just time to upgrade. So that's something I've been working with the finance committee and accountant with the budget to make it work out. So we have that coming along, but it'll be good because right now we're harassing Carly using the big machine, which has been good, but it takes us out of the office, so we need to have it all there. But on the good side, we've had a lot of trainings for myself and the staff. I found a lot of online training modules with the state, a lot of webinars, so we've been using a lot of that. I myself have attended 2 conferences that I secured scholarships for, so they were no cost to the town, for the collector treasurers and for the mass clerks I just went to in Springfield. So that was about $800 of savings.
What do clerks talk about when they're?
We talk
hanging
about
out?
clerk things.
Yeah, just
We talk about true copy and attesting.
very exciting stuff.
We talk about selectmen. We
Yes,
talk
I'm
about
sure.
the post office.
I'm glad I asked. That's
I'm
kind of the
sorry,
answer I was
yeah.
expecting too.
I know, you have a migraine, I'm sorry. I'm trying to liven up for the whole audience.
No, we know you
You're
well,
doing
so
well.
we.
They
yeah,
want to
you're
get to
doing great.
they want to get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
So, what else? Oh, and the other attempt in cleaning out the office, which the ladies have been very patient of, is my obsession with spreadsheets, getting a handle on everything. So we've gone through all the returned mail for tax purposes, censuses, and we've been tracking to see, you know, whose mail keeps getting returned. Are you past due? Did you return your census? And now when you come to the office to get something updated, now it pulls up this spreadsheet, and I kind of have people tagged in a sense to say, okay, you've also had all these bills, you know. So we're trying to get a handle on all of that.
And that's something eventually we can, if we don't already, share with other departments.
Right, so what
building,
we've also done is,
DPW.
we've done a listing of bankruptcies and insurance claims to start tracking all of that as well, because yes, when people come in for different licenses and they come before the board, Carly's gonna contact us, or, you know, for building and permits, whatever it may be. That way we have a better handle, and we can say where you are with your taxes, where you are with any business certificates or anything like that.
Sure.
So, so they've worked very hard
That's great.
in appeasing me on getting all this stuff caught up, so
Well,
I'm
it
grateful
makes
that they,
perfect sense. That's-
well, it's, you know, just trying to get everything back on track,
So,
basically, so.
so you, we come time to redo licenses, you'll be up to speed with taxes and who owes and who doesn't, and
Yes,
any
yeah.
other issues there might be with them?
Yeah, and we worked, you know, we did the big push with the business certificates with Alicia and Dave, which was great, so that's really come together. With
Finally.
getting that all caught up, and that was a great turnaround.
And how is that working? People coming in and doing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, a lot of people came in, we were able to give, and we also got a lot of feedback, no longer in business, or out of, you know, whatever we
Sure.
needed to do, so we've really cleaned up that listing tremendously, and again, you know, kind of took it a step further to see when it will expire, what type of licenses they have with the business, and so forth, so that when it does come up again, we can have a quicker turnaround, more accurate turnaround on where people stand, so much better. And just, again, the census is just one day at a time. We just keep picking away and getting our census updated, the voter registration updated. So we're getting the right figures out. So when different grants, whatever comes along, our numbers are where they need to be. And we have the right people.
You might want
Listed.
to, the last time they sent the census out, they weren't our current resident.
Right,
You
yeah.
may want to do that
We already
this time.
updated that with them.
Okay.
We
'Cause
already
that's why you
said-
got a lot of them back.
Yeah, so that's why we definitely had that. We did do a second mailing out, like a soft mailing, not really too aggressive, but definitely sent them out and did our own labels of our current resident. And we had very few that were returned, maybe a dozen out of, you know, a lot.
Yeah.
Well, you saw, there was a lot, so, so yeah, just trying to get a better handle on it. And that's it. The lockbox has been working well, like especially after a long weekend, or you know, the different payments. No nasty grams yet. Who knows after tonight?
Yeah.
Get one.
I may drop one.
It's long history. And then the Boston Post cane. That's something else. We did get an application for that. So I've been working with Robert and the committee to get that up to speed. So we hope to very soon be able to put together a presentation and so forth for somebody. So, and that's it.
Fantastic, Susan. Thank you for coming.
Is that all?
No,
You haven't done anything else?
no,
What have you been doing?
nothing. I just came in for this meeting.
Breath of fresh air.
Yes, thank you. You brought a whole new attitude to the building and the department, and we appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. That's it for me.
All right, nice to see you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Rich, Jeremy, you want to head up? Just gotta go back here.
Hi. How are you? Good evening, Jim.
Good evening.
Nice to see you guys. Robert, do you want to kind of
Sure,
frame this and then
yeah.
I'll let the gentlemen kind of do their thing?
Mr. Chairman, through you to the board, the presidents and representatives of the Fire and Police Union some time ago had asked to come before the board for a discussion pertaining to the town's benefit, the Great West Deferred Compensation Plan that the town of Ayer offers to employees, benefit employees. And I think as the board is aware, there was an issue involving the deduction and deposit of employee deferred comp funds with respect, this goes back to the May 17th payroll, which in fact actually affected all town employees. Both of the department's chiefs, both chiefs originally brought the matter to the town's attention, as did the unions, and you have their respective letters from the police and fire in your packet. And though this goes back to the spring, then with some changes that were instituted with payroll and benefits, as well as the summer schedules and so forth, and other scheduling issues, it's come up before you tonight. And I have discussed the issue with both union presidents. They have normally, under a grievance procedure, would be in executive session, but they have, for the record, have waived that to open session, and really wanted to have, and the gentleman can correct me if I'm wrong, a discussion with the board about their concerns pertaining to this issue, and I'd be happy to answer any questions as well, as I have explained. And I also asked Ms. Gittner and Mr. Johnston to be here as well tonight if there are questions for them as well. But just to conclude, they're here to address the board, and then I'd be happy to discuss
Sure.
what the town has done since then with respect to it.
Gentlemen?
I defer to you.
So, I guess to begin, the way this deduction and depositing takes place, it's just something that myself included and many of our employees at the fire department kind of just take for granted, that it's always been done correctly.
Sure.
And I don't find myself checking up on the town, to make sure that that's been happening, I guess. And I guess I was kind of surprised to see that it was something that could be missed. I was under the impression that it was a fairly automated system, and I was not aware that it was an actual check needing to be cut, every payroll. And so I was surprised to see that the one was missed, because we take that for something that is, an important function of the town hall, to make sure all the employees are getting paid. Correct me, was it just the one payroll? Because I still haven't been online to look. That was missed on the 17th, or did it actually incur two?
Through the chair, to my knowledge, it was May the 17th. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was that one as well as the fall one or not. And I guess it surprises me that you only received letters from us, and I guess that's mainly because most of the rest of the town employees haven't found out yet. Which, I think it's something that the town should address, that, just to let employees know that that deposit was missed and it was lapsed by, how many weeks, and that it has been rectified. The payment was eventually made, but not on time. And what my union would like to see happen, at least, is and I had a few conversations with Kevin about it, as to whether or not it's an option to do an electronic payment, as well as turn on some of the management tools that are online through the Smart Plans website, so that we can manage our own dollars without having to you create a paper trail that it's done electronically and can take place immediately.
Sure.
There's not much else to be done to rectify the situation, at least the way we see it.
The Patrolmen's Association feels the same way. We just want to make sure that there's an easier way to do it, some kind of guarantee that it's less likely to happen in the future. And we have the same questions about the online management of our own funds.
So you don't have access to your own retirement funds?
I can get on and look at them, but I
Yeah.
can't make
Transactions?
any transfers between funds or
Why?
increase or decrease in accounting, which I guess has never been turned on. I don't
So
know.
is it simple enough to turn it on? Does anybody know? Kevin?
I do.
Yes?
Did you guys, Stephanie and Kevin, do you mind coming up and joining us? I might I think we just have a few questions on the online stuff, and it'd just be easier to have you up here.
Sure. I would think it'd be so much easier. I mean, it's your money too. I mean, you could flip it wherever you want.
And just to clarify, this was not just the fire and police. This was, I know I saw two very pointed letters from the two department heads that had it affect them. I'm assuming it affected everybody in the town that week?
To my knowledge, that payroll, it would have affected anybody on the town's payroll for May 17th that participated in the
Sure.
Great West deferred comp. And since that time, if I could just add, as mentioned, the town moving forward will institute and has instituted the electronic
Okay.
transfer.
Okay.
But the question that Lieutenant Janiskevich asked about the management tool, I would defer to one of these individuals.
I don't know whether you can do that or not. I think it would be a good idea if the representative came. When they come, they were always announced to everyone, messages were sent to all the departments, and not many people show up for these. And I realize that you guys have different shifts, and if he comes at this time, you're home sleeping. I mean, I understand that, but you can contact them directly, personally, for your own self. But we could get the representative to come and speak with you.
Me personally, I'm very much electronic. I would much rather just be able to hop online, log in, take care of it.
No, I know, but he could probably tell you how to do it.
Because
You know,
right
I'm
now
not
it's all
sure.
blacked out. I know how to do it. I logged on to the website. It's actually, I am not able to do it. It says that, it gave me some error message saying it wasn't authorized to use that portion.
That could be a Great West thing too. I
Okay,
don't know. You know, we could find out though.
So, Mr. Chairman, after speaking with Jeremy about this several weeks ago, I reached out to the folks at Great West. And Jim Begley, who's the account rep for the town of Ayer, emailed me just last week and said he wants to come out in the next couple of weeks to go over three things actually. One, the possibility of electronic transfer of the payment, electronic transfer of the backup for the payment, the information to each individual's account. Right now, we're still in the paper process. We have developed a payroll checklist that I've been using to make sure that it's not missed again. At least it's some sort of a backup that says, geez, every step's been taken here to make sure this is done completely.
Sure.
And then thirdly, we spoke about, the last thing that Jeremy mentioned was electronic access for each individual stakeholder in the benefit to be able to access and manage their own assets there.
It makes perfect sense. I mean, I couldn't agree more with Jeremy and Officer Krasinski. I mean, it seems like we need to have this individual out, and if this is something we need to vote on as a board, I think we need to do it right away. I mean,
I can do it with my TSP
Sure.
federally. I can go in and every day do what I want to it.
Sure, and I myself am a participant on a voluntary basis here, and I was surprised to learn that I couldn't access and manage those funds electronically myself as well. So that's what prompted me to go a little bit further and just say, what can we do about this? So I responded to his email to me and said, let's do something sooner than later, at least within the next 10 days to 2 weeks, and say, come out. And then if we have to follow up again with meeting with each of the departments and those that participate to explain the processes, we can certainly make all those arrangements at the same time.
Sure, Robert, can we work with
Mhm.
Kevin and get this set up ASAP, so we can get this another online thing rolling, which sounds like it should have been already, but,
They've had that for years and it just wasn't instituted here.
and what exactly happened with this? Was it just a,
After Melissa left, I was doing both full-time jobs. And I was working a lot of extra hours, and at night, weekends, I'd be here during the day. And that one time, it was in my drawer with some other checks, and it just got missed. Once I got the emails about it not being sent in.
all right, so it was a mistake?
It was
Yeah, yeah.
an honest mistake.
No, I'm sure it wasn't malicious in any way. But automatic, it
Sure.
completely eliminates that for the most part. I mean,
It makes the operation significantly more efficient.
sure,
Right through the, to eliminate paper handling of documents, that
Sure.
eliminates opportunities for errors like this to happen.
Mhm.
And just, so we'll make the process as streamlined as we can.
yeah, no, absolutely.
So I'll follow up first thing tomorrow morning and let Mr. Begley know that I was in
Yeah,
attendance
if we
here
can-
tonight, and that there's a directive to get this done sooner than later, and I'm sure he'll respond appropriately.
Okay, I'm sorry, Gary, go ahead.
No, so does something like an electronic transfer trigger the ability to use it?
Don't know the answer to that. Haven't asked him that question.
All right.
But I'm sure it's just a matter of using all the bells and whistles that are available through their web access to make it all happen. And it's probably something that has several different levels of protection. You have to turn it on the site and then turn it on each individual's account. So there's the
Sure.
proper security measures are in place and
Absolutely.
such as well. I know in my prior experience from my former employer, I look at my my deferred compensation plan every week or so, just to see what's there. When I want to do something, I just do it electronically online, get an email about it the next day, and it works. Same thing can happen here.
I had a long time before I can use mine. It generally just sits there, so.
Mine just sits there too, I'm not using it.
Yeah. Oh.
I get longer than you.
So, gentlemen, I agree with you 100%, and I apologize for this happening. I remember when it did, and I know there was a lot of upset people, and I don't blame anybody for that. And, I accept Ms. Gintner's explanation. It was a mistake. It happened, and we're not going to let it happen again. But would you guys be willing to come back and listen or send a representative?
Sure. Absolutely.
Get somebody maybe at our next meeting?
And
It just-
is the town going to try to notify the rest of the employees, just so they're aware of?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, yes.
Because I would assume that the people that don't want to do it electronically doesn't mean they still can't come in and do it however they wanted to do it, because there are some people who just don't want to do it electronically. There's few, but there are still some. So if we could get the gentleman in as soon as possible, just to kind of hear, I think, and I would assume
Sure.
we'd be voting on it, so.
I'll keep the board
Yeah, no, absolutely.
apprised of the status through the
Yep.
town administrator.
Fantastic.
I would just like to apologize that this happened. Wasn't intentional or anything. It just, I was very busy.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We'll
World
that it?
hunger, world peace.
We'll keep you updated and notify everybody once we get it set, and hopefully have something, hopefully at the next meeting, where we can vote on it, if it sounds like it's gonna sound, and go ahead with it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for bringing it forward, too.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. Stephanie? I'm sorry, I'm just trying to cross off. We jumped around a little bit.
Mark.
Yep. Superintendent Wetzel?
Good evening, and thank you. As Mr. Pomprion had mentioned, I wasn't aware that Doug was on vacation this week, so we did have a nice picture of me giving him a certificate on Facebook, if anyone's interested. I'm here for the, as you know, town meeting this year authorized a new position of town engineer. I put together a detailed job description, was reviewed by the town administrator. We advertised for the position on Mass Municipal Association website, New England Waterworks Association website, and NUIA website, and the town website. And I believe the MMA goes out on the Monster board, or?
Yes,
it goes
on
out
monster.com.
your site. We received 4 applications, and of those 4, I interviewed 2, and so I'm recommending Dan Van Schalwick for the position. Dan has a lot of the capabilities that we're looking for this position. Young engineer with a lot of the skills that we really need with respect to GIS and CAD design for engineering, but also he's got a lot of experience in stormwater and sewer system evaluations, which are 2 of the priorities that we are going to need to begin addressing in the community. He's also got a lot of experience with landfill and transfer station operations, which, as we know, is a key community service that we provide. We have a new NPDES stormwater discharge permit that we just received the draft last week on. That's going to have a lot more stormwater requirements on as far as mapping our stormwater, doing stormwater quality, and I think Dan fits the bill for those very well. He's also grew up locally.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Dan.
Nice to meet you too.
Now, my initial thought on this was that it could be something that could save the town, because I know we farm out some of the engineering stuff. So this would be in lieu of.
It definitely would. I think at both town meeting and also prior to town meeting with the finance committee, I put together a number of memos that identified the cost savings for the town, and not only the cost savings, but the improvement in service. A couple projects that I've recently put out to bid. For instance, the water main project up on Pleasant Street, we did that in-house. Probably saved the town about $25,000 on that project. With Dan on board, we'd be able to do more of those projects and get them out quicker, as well as some of the other issues that we have. Town subdivision regulations are pretty outdated. A lot of those are related to engineering type functions, so that would not just be a benefit to the DPW, but to the entire town. We're in the process of trying to implement a GIS system, but we don't really have a GIS person, so I don't have an up-to-date map of any of our infrastructure. GIS is called Geographical Information Systems, and those are maps that have all of the town assets on the map, including property values, property lines. So like, for instance, in my town, we have a GIS system. I can go online and see where my property line is and where my neighbor's property line is, and see that the guy put his shed on my property line. So we'd have the ability to work with the assessor's office to put that in. But in addition to that, we would put all of our asset data of our water, sewer, stormwater, road conditions, and be able to keep that up to date. So every time we change something, then that map would be up to date. And so that would be, again, something that we would use for the entire town as opposed to just the DPW. But it's something we've been working on, but we really haven't had someone who's had enough time to champion the effort.
Sure. No, I know you've done some of the engineering stuff, and it has saved the town some money, but it also kind of pulls you away from other things too. So, Karen?
I'm kind of conflicted with this position. Nothing against Mr. Against you, Mr. Schalwick, at all. Is that correct, Schalwick?
Schalwick, yeah.
Hey, I'm Italian. I've seen everything. Mark, when we hired you and I asked the question, and you pretty much said that you could save the money for the town because you are an engineer. So why are we hiring another engineer if that's the case, where if you went a different direction, you'd be able to concentrate just on that part of the job that,
Well, I don't want to rehash this whole position because I think I did a presentation to the board. I did a presentation to the finance committee, and I did a presentation, or I had a taped presentation at town meeting. But I think that there's a lot of engineering tasks that can be done, and operational tasks that both need to be done, as well as management of a pretty big budget in the community. And I don't think if I'm acting as the DPW superintendent and town engineer, I don't think that the operations of the DPW are going to get enough time to get all of the other things that the town needs to have get done.
is there enough work just for engineering?
Well, I started to put together a to-do list, and I've got about 24 items on it. And some of these are not just, spend a day here and a day there. There's some pretty long-term projects. For instance, I have in my capital budget to do a stormwater system evaluation. I forget what the number is, but I want to say it was $80,000 to $100,000. Well, that's something we would do in-house. We may need to sub-consult little bits and pieces of it, but that's something that Dan could do. We'd end up getting the product that we want because we'd do it together, knowing what we need to do for the town. So those are the types of big projects that we'll have to get done.
So you wouldn't see any use for you doing most of the engineering and have an assistant superintendent doing all the bulwark?
When you say bulwark, what do you mean by that?
Managing the employees, making sure that they're all doing the work they're supposed to be doing.
Well, that's something that I do, and that's a priority, and that's why a lot of the engineering stuff slips.
Well, and I'm just trying to
And,
converse.
So if the town wanted to go in that direction, we could explore that, but at this point, I think that that the superintendent is the manager of the operations, and to hire someone else to do that, I think there would be more conflicts than if the superintendent is an engineer and working with a town engineer.
I'm sorry, Gary, go ahead.
No, I'm just, unfortunately, I'm just up in the air on this, and I really can't vote on this tonight.
Let me throw this at you. Your idea actually was good, and I've said that to you several times. I wish I had thought of it 8 months ago when this started up. We also didn't have Mr. Shawwick's resume at the time, too. I think we were kind of waiting we weren't getting much. It is pretty impressive. I don't see the harm in putting this out there as a probationary type deal like any hiring would be, and look at it, even if it's a year from now, and see, because I do, just from calling around other departments and stuff, there's 2 engineers over in Westford, obviously much bigger town, but Acton, Littleton has one. And I understand what you're saying, I just...
How is this going to improve the department? That's
Well,
what I
I
can't see. I'm talking the whole department,
Yeah.
not just the engineering part.
Right?
How can this improve the whole department?
Well, I don't think number one, I don't think we want to look at, is it just going to improve the whole department? I think you want to look at, is it going to improve the town and the community and what services we provide?
That's part of it,
And, one of the questions I get when I go to the capital committee is, how come you haven't got all these projects done that you've already funded? And part of that is because I'm just getting pulled in too many ways. I think I'm a little surprised that this is being brought up now because, as I said, I brought this to the board before town meeting, and also it was voted at town meeting. And if this was something that was an issue, then I probably could have been more prepared to address exactly the differences. But in my opinion, I think we need someone to do more of the nuts and bolts engineering and freeing me up to do more of the operations and optimization of operations.
We have come a long way down there. I mean, I know there's been, no, I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying that
I'm not saying that at all.
I mean, for what was the backlog when you came in, and then, obviously with it frees up for grant writing and stuff like that, which Mark, along with the other chiefs, is very good at. I personally championed it, I thought, back in last year, because I thought it would be a money savings to the town. I mean, that's ultimately where it comes from. I mean, if we can pay for your salary and not farm out stuff to other companies that are gonna charge us triple to do the same thing you can do in-house, faster, more focused, where we're not the 17th thing on their desk to do. And I completely get where you're coming from too. So I mean, I'd be in favor of it, and I mean, if you wanted to put some stipulations on it or whatnot.
You know, the probationary thing doesn't even bother me, because I think Dan could probably do a good job. I don't know if you'd put your signature on.
Look at his interest.
Would you put your stamp on
What's
the
that?
work that you approve?
Oh, yeah.
You would? Because I know some engineers don't like to do that.
No, if I'm doing it, yeah, I would be putting my stamp on it.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that you're young.
Give me a break, will you?
And no, I meant it
I'm on the
as
back nine.
that wasn't a slap at you per se, but it brings excitement to the job. And I mean, how can you go against someone who enjoys Lake Winnipesaukee, softball, baseball, biking, golfing, and following professional sports? I mean, I like that guy already.
I have no problem with it. And when it was presented to us, it was, I don't remember it as a detailed presentation where this board got involved in the nuts and bolts of it. I mean, it was said that you wanted a position for engineering, put in the budget. It was more or less of a finance thing to financially tell the board and the finance committee that that's what was going to happen. If I was asked at the time, I would have said the same thing. But I'm afraid that this isn't going to help the town as a whole. I think the work that Dan can do will be helpful, and it will probably free up some time for you to do other things. But I don't know if you freeing up time for you will fix some of the issues that I have.
So, in other words, what you're saying is you don't have confidence in my position as the DPW superintendent to manage the operations?
No, like Chris said, you've done a great job bringing it to where it is. Everybody has good and bad, and there are some things you're stronger in than you're not. And I'm not saying I don't have confidence in you. I do have confidence in you. But there's certain things that need to be worked on heavily. And if freeing up you to do that more, then maybe we can go in that direction. But
I think I get what you're trying to say, and that's probably a discussion for another time, but it does kind of allow for that to take place, or what you're looking for. I'm not exactly sure what exactly, but
you're right.
You know what I mean?
It does.
That's a discussion separate from Dan, and
yes.
And if things don't, I mean, and Dan, I apologize. This is new.
Yes.
We're very moving forward fast over here in this town, and we're missing a member tonight. But Gary, I mean, I understand Gary's point, and I also believe that allows the because I do think it's gonna save money for the town, I really do. I mean, just talking to some friends over in Westford and Littleton, and I also think that we can revisit this in, what is a typical probationary
That's what I
period?
was gonna ask, what's,
Through the chair, it's 6 months, 6 months from the starting date.
Okay.
like I said, I have no problem, I think Dan can do the job. What is the starting rate, and is he in a non-union position?
Through the chair to Selectman Luker, it's a non-union position, and the compensation,
We have a budget of $70,000.
7, yeah.
So is it an at-will appointee, or is it just, it's not a contract, correct?
Well, Robert and I discussed it, how this would be structured, and he said it would be a contract employee.
If the board...
Personal services contract?
Correct.
So that has to be negotiated.
But all employees, as you know,
Right.
Selectman Luker, are a 6-month probationary.
Okay, I was just, so I could make a motion that we enter negotiations with Dan on a contract?
Yeah, through the chairs, you'd make a motion to appoint, and then to negotiate the contract, which, would generally be done by the town administrator and then brought before, and the superintendent brought before the board for approval.
Okay, I'll do that. Get that?
Got it.
Make an appointment and open the negotiations.
Okay. For, sorry, Dan, I lost the page to spell your whole name there. It's
Van Scalquick? Scalquick.
to make an appointment for Dan Van, how do you spell his last name? Scalquick. We'll get it, trust me. To enter in negotiations with the town administrator in consultation, I would assume, with Superintendent Wetzel on the position, to be brought back to the BOS for approval, the contract, or
Well, we'd have to
how do we
negotiate and allow the town administrator to negotiate directly and bring it back to us.
So I mean, just so similar to what happened with payroll benefits.
Right.
Correct.
Yes. Okay.
Through the chair, the board would vote to make the hire, the appointment. The negotiations would be done by the town administrator, and you have to approve
Sure.
that.
So assuming everything goes good, we're ready to roll. And just to add, this was overwhelmingly accepted at town meeting, if I recall, in the spring, last spring?
Correct. May
Okay.
12th, yep.
So, all in favor
You
of...
want to second it? Or?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just used to Janice being here. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
The chair says aye. So pending a, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Mr. Chair, through you and the board, if there is an objection where Dan is here, through you, perhaps he could just briefly tell us, his resume is extremely
Yeah, no, that's a good
impressive.
idea. I'm sorry.
But if
Yep.
maybe he could tell us a little bit about himself and what attracted him to the position.
Yeah,
Through you,
and-
Mr.
and
Chair.
What you, not to put you on the spot, but what you're gonna bring to the table in terms of the town. I mean, we've kind of evolved recently into a little more proactive, and
Yeah.
so,
Well, I think the work I've done the past 8 years at CDM kind of are a little different experiences than what Mark has. He's more water, wastewater, and I've done more solid waste, sanitary, sewer, and storm sewer infrastructure, and remediation work, hazardous waste remediation. So I've got kind of different experiences, and a lot of field work and design work and drafting, and I feel like bringing those to the table and putting those together with Mark's experiences, we'll have quite a plethora of experiences between the two of us to tackle projects with. And then kind of what brought me to the area is I grew up in Groton, that was my hometown, and I used to work there as a firefighter. So being in the civil service there, I really was fond of it, so it's kind of what's bringing me back out here, come to neighboring town to my hometown, which I used to.
I wish I'd known that before I made the motion. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
And you live in Charlestown now?
Yeah, I live in Charlestown.
At least you're going against the commute.
Yeah, so.
When are you available
Just
to start?
pretty soon, like right away, after I get my.
Do you have room for them over there?
We're making room. We're shredding a lot of documents.
I thought you didn't have any room over there. I was just curious, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. No, I think it's going to prove to be an asset. And like you said, what was the estimated savings on the last one?
I think just on stuff that I had presented at town meeting, I think it was $130,000.
Yeah.
This is all stuff that previously went out, right? I mean, before Mark and before for Dan, hopefully. This is all stuff that went out to a private engineering company and probably caused a lot of the backlog
Well,
that we ran into.
and I'll give you another example is, we're putting in, we got our Green Communities grant to put in a variable frequency drive down at Spectacle Pond Well. And what that does is it makes the pump run more efficiently, keeps us from over pumping the well, and saves electricity. I got a quote, the whole project is $40,000, and when I got engineering quotes, they were $15,000. So it doesn't make sense to spend $15,000 on a $40,000 project, that makes it a $55,000 project. But for an engineer, just to put a job out to bid without any engineering involved costs about $5,000 for them to do that by the time they print it, administer the documents, open the bids, and review the recommendations. It's $5,000. And, so we're doing that in-house now, and we're doing the design and the bidding, and we're saving the town a huge amount of engineering money, which means that I can now, on Pleasant Street, put in more pipe or replace some hydrants that we hadn't originally planned to because we came in under budget.
Sure. And just to add to that, when I first got on, I looked at the dehumidification system down there, which of course the paper had a field day with, but there was a book about this thick that was made up with sections and subsections, and I think that the price was $40,000 or $50,000.
Yeah, it was about $50,000.
The solution was $7,000, I think, that the company did it for, and it works absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So just to give you an idea that the money, and I'm not even counting the money that was spent to engineer the system, that was a waste of paper. So, I second the motion, so I guess before we get to... Did we vote? I don't think we...
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. Well, welcome aboard, I hope, and we look forward to... Mark, I forgot to, I put on the agenda and ask these guys about the beaver mitigation stuff. Do you mind hanging around for a minute or two? Or, I mean, if not, I mean...
Yeah.
Thanks, Robert. Gary, I didn't, my head is pounding. I forgot to put that on the agenda. Is something you guys might discuss under business?
What? Sorry.
The issues with the beaver mitigation around town.
Oh, yeah, under new business, yeah.
Under potential problems that Oak Ridge and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
And we're just about there.
Yeah.
Robert, go.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, the first item under my report was the November meeting schedule for the Board of Selectmen, and I guess the best way to put it is the meeting schedule for the board for the balance of the calendar year. Your meeting tonight, the board has an executive session on Monday, the 20th, and we have one item in open session before that, which is a time-sensitive reserve fund transfer from the fire chief.
Okay.
And then the question is, and then there's the special town meeting on the 27th of October. And then in November, as you announced, the 4th is election day, so that you would normally meet then. I'm recommending that the board meet on November 5th, which is a Wednesday at 7. And then you would meet on November the 18th as your normal and then December the 2nd and December 16th is the 1st and 3rd. So the question is, does the board want to meet again in the month of October? From the administrative point of view, and talking with Ms. Antonellis and the department heads, there really isn't anything from our end that can't wait till November the 5th. So you would be meeting tonight, then your next regular meeting would be November the 5th.
And we can do the Chiefs thing next.
It would do the
Monday.
Chiefs reserve fund transfer in open session on Monday at 7.
And then, assuming everything goes right with Dan, is that something we probably want to expedite? I mean, I will just assume we
Yeah.
don't want to drag that
I mean,
out.
that
It could be something we
the
could do quick,
contract is an
maybe Monday,
executive,
yeah, sure.
executive session.
Okay. So, yeah, we'd be covering that, and we'd just be announcing it in an open session anyway, so
Right.
that's something we could squeeze in if need be.
Mhm.
Or maybe at the tail end of one of the...
In the executive session.
Yeah. No, I actually briefly saw your schedule. It looked fine to me. I don't know if you've spoken to
Okay.
Selectman Livingston or not, but it's okay with you, Gary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Barring any unforeseen.
Right, so then the board would meet next Monday, the 20th, for one open session item at 7, then the executive session.
Okay.
Special town meeting is the 27th of October at 7. The board will reconvene on Wednesday, the 5th, because of the election
Mhm.
at 7, and then go back. The third Tuesday is the 18th of November, and just
then
take it,
December,
yeah.
once
December 2nd
then
and
come back
December.
after the 1st.
Yeah.
No, that works for me. Just a quick question. Do we not have a reporter covering our meetings anymore?
No, Mr. Chairman, that's a good point. I
Yeah.
don't know Mr. Bishop. I talked to him today on another matter, and he was here last week, so.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't know, judging by the paper, but
Yeah.
apparently he was, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just curious.
Okay.
Not bad then.
No, it's
All right, and we will advertise
not anymore, apparently.
the
Say that.
schedule and also post it here. The next
All right.
item, Mr. Chairman, and there's a memo to the board that with the state legislature's passage of the FY15 state budget, there was an amendment to Mass General Law, Chapter 30B, which increased the threshold from $25,000 to $35,000 for contracts with the solicitation of 3 quotes. I'm respectfully, right now, authorized by the board to sign contracts up to $25,000. With this recent amendment, I'm respectfully requesting that the Board of Selectmen vote to authorize the town administrator to approve contracts with the solicitation of 3 quotes up to the new threshold limit of $35,000.
Okay.
Say me?
All right, did you have your hand up? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I did. Robert, this is just you?
Correct,
Okay, because you're the procurement officer.
correct.
And how does that work? Just, I'm sorry, like, if you're on vacation, like happened when I marked something happened with the pump when Robert was on vacation, I had to sign. Would it revert back to the board, or would it be the chair, or would it be, just for clarification? I mean, it's not something that's gonna happen very often, but.
Right, in the procurement officer's absence, it would be the chairman of the board.
Okay. All right, no, I just wanted to clarify that,
Yep,
how that works.
yes, and the
moving
reason
forward.
this was increased is, as
It was
Mark.
just increased a few years ago too, right? Wasn't
Yeah,
it real
yeah.
low and, yeah.
Yeah, so
sorry about
25, and the increase in 35,000 is taking into account really the increased costs of things. So I'm just asking for your authorization.
that. Yeah, I don't have any issue with it.
Make a motion to authorize the town administrator to approve contracts up to $35,000 according to, excuse me, Mass General Law, Chapter 30B.
I second the motion. All in favor? Gary?
Aye.
Chair says aye.
Okay.
And motion passes.
All right. Mr. Chair, if there is an objection, I'd like to do the GPS one last, if I could just, of my report, just get the other two.
That's fine.
So the next item, as amended on the agenda, was there is a request for change of hours for the Vineyard, the Jack-o'-lantern, and Archer's Mobile. And through the chair, I'd yield to, if there's not objection, to Ms. Antonellis.
No?
Okay, so the state law has changed effective October 23rd. Package stores, section 15, which is off-premise licenses, they can open at 10 now. So the state sent an advisory, which I sent to all our section 15 licenses. So far, we've gotten 3 back, so all they needed was a vote of their corporation requesting the change. And then they fill out a form and we need to sign the local form. So it's kind of odd how it's written, but it says that they don't need approval to do it, but then they need to submit a form with the board's approval. So err on the side of caution, and we just need to fill out this local form saying we approve the hours changes. And all 3 of them would like to just open, they were all noon openings on Sunday. Now they'll open at 10.
And this was just the Jack-o'-lantern?
Vineyard
Vineyard.
and Arches Mobile.
Okay. Arches, the gas station thing still bothers me, but at 10.
Yeah, when you're going to the beach, it's nice to stop and get some stuff. Gas, soda, a couple of beers.
Well, and the other thing is,
What, you don't drink beer?
not for breakfast. Yeah. Well, obviously, if we don't do this, and other towns do, you don't want to be sending people, not that there's much around, but if the state's okay with it, I don't think it's going to affect. Chief Murray, weigh in on this, there's no, it really shouldn't affect anything.
It is the state law, so there was
Okay.
no objection. Again, if there were any violations, like in any case,
And I'm
that would be
assuming
good.
the other establishments will probably think about this too. We have 3 more, 2 more?
There's a total of 6. so
Okay.
we'll have 3.
Okay. Okay.
Make a motion for the board to approve a change of hours for GW Archer and Ayer Vineyard for wine and malt, and Traffic Circle Liquors, Jack-o'-lantern, for an all-alcohol change in their license, Sunday hours of 10 a.m. to 11, start time of 10 a.m.
And this doesn't affect closed, what is it, 6 o'clock, I think, on Sundays?
No.
There's no effect in that at the
There's no,
tail end,
it has
right?
to be closed by,
So there's no
midnight.
change in that?
Right.
Okay. Second the motion. All in favor, Gary?
Aye.
Chair says aye.
So just-
Is that right away, Carly? Is that something that they have to?
It takes effect October 23rd.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll print new licenses to reflect the new hours
Mm-hmm.
for like 2 months, and then, we'll renew them with the new hours on it.
Yeah,
Yep.
Okay.
okay.
Good, Robert.
The next item, Mr. Chairman, is the purchase order for the police chief's new vehicle, which has arrived to the
I know, huh?
town. Yes, it was, the delay was with the outfit, the retrofit of all of the equipment and so forth. That purchase order was in the amount of $36,000, which is beyond the threshold that you just approved in the previous threshold. So I'm respectfully requesting that the board vote to authorize the purchase order and signature by the chair.
Yeah, and this is.
This was approved by
Town meeting
through
this
the
is just-
capital and through the articles.
Sure.
but,
And there was just a little bit more cost because
There
of
was
the outfitting of the car with the chief's gear and.
Correct. The cost
Yeah.
still fell within the article amount approved, but the town accountant, incorrectly so, is requesting a vote and signature by the chair on the purchase order.
Make a motion.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve purchase order 2356 for the police department's chief's cruiser, the amount of $36,940 for signature by the chair.
Second, all in favor, Gary?
Aye.
Chair says aye, and let me just sign this one real quick. Robert, is the car in, is it been outfitted?
Yeah.
Is it here?
It is
The,
here.
Has the station wagon been
Yes.
moved
It was,
on?
it was, the chief's previous vehicle was traded in the new vehicle. Mr. Chair, you just sign under my name.
Okay.
Yeah, please. And again, this is more for accounting
Sure.
purposes.
No, it's
It
good to
was
see that
approved
he
by town.
finally got it.
Okay. Great. And then, Mr. Chair, the fifth item on my report was the GPS transponders, which I know this board has discussed for some time. And in discussing the issue at length with Superintendent Wetzel, and I appreciate his input in his offer to launch, if you will, a pilot study for GPS is within the DPW fleet. Just for the public's benefit, the board has my memo in the packet, but the board has been looking at the issue of GPS transponders since June 14th of 2013. And currently the town does have a GPS transponder, as the board knows, on the DPW wastewater tanker truck. This was done by the DPW superintendent, and I fully agree, because this is perhaps our most sensitive piece of equipment, carrying wastewater not only on the highway but across state lines to Rhode Island. And so what I'm proposing is that the BOS authorize myself and Superintendent Wetzel to implement a GPS transponder pilot study with the DPW vehicle fleet. And the primary focus of the study will be to, one, determine the value of GPS transponders in terms of managing the DPW vehicle fleet. Examples: route efficiency, fuel efficiency, service locations, and overall safety. And two, to determine the feasibility and value of the information obtained by the GPS transponders as a management tool. In other words, you have these transponders put in place and you have this information, and what do we do with it? That's a rhetorical question. That's the whole these are the two goals, if you will, of this study. And the general scope of the study would be to install GPS transponders on all DPW service vehicles of the street sweeper, sidewalk plow, and of course the tanker truck, which currently has one. Data would be collected and monitored, and a feasibility report based on the study would be presented to the BOS for further consideration.
I'm sorry, just those vehicles?
Would be within the DPW fleet would be the DPW service vehicles. So each division on the vehicles.
So the trucks that are out, the pickups that I see around town.
What I basically do is one truck per division.
Sure.
So for instance, like in the water department, the guys they are out and about, but they're, a lot of times they're at Grove Pond or Spectacle Pond. So I'm just going to see GPS sitting in a parking lot at one of the stations. Whereas like the meter reader is all over town. Mm-hmm. And so we can get a better idea if we put one in his truck, where he is, what he's doing, how long it's taking him to do his stops. Mm-hmm. Wastewater, we have a truck that goes to all the stations every day. Are they doing it in an efficient way? How long are they staying at each station? Things like that. So as a pilot, because one of the other issues is like as Robert said, we have one in the tanker truck, but I look at that. I don't sit there all day and say, "Where's the tanker truck?" Sure. It takes me time to go in and manage those things, and so I may look at it twice a week. Mm-hmm. And see what happened, or if I see something like it seems like the truck is in the yard longer than it should be, and I can see, have they done 2 loads or 1 load? So we need to evaluate how valuable it is for me to be spending the time to look at it also.
And I think it's a tool for you too. I mean, I know you didn't plow my road, and right. You can say, well, no, actually we went by at 2 a.m., we went by at 6 a.m., and then we salted at 8 a.m. I mean, because I know you get those calls from people who think that, we do nothing, and or same with the police, like I said with...
The street sweeper is a good example, because they don't, they have routes that they do, but they miss stuff. And so we want to make sure that we sweep every street at least twice a year. Sure. And then we have like the mains that we do on a regular mm-hmm. basis. So that would be important to see, are we getting the streets that we need to get?
Sure. Yeah, I look at it as more of a tool, mm-hmm. in my opinion, and we can see how it works. And I mean, obviously not having it in all the vehicles, I guess it could be manipulated to some degree during this study, but I guess we'll have to kind of wait and see But it's worth looking into. I see that the fire chief and the police chief are waiting if they don't want it. I don't really feel like we need it on the fire trucks myself or the ambulance, but in fairness, but. Yeah, no, but I mean, yeah.
So I think that
I mean, the
this,
ambulance, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, the ambulance probably, yeah, you're probably right on the ambulance, yeah.
so I think, Mr. Chair, in talking with this, Superintendent Wetzel has offered you to use the DPW as a test, and I think that is a good next step. And as I put here also, additionally, part of the study, which is also underway, was we are surveying other towns of the Massachusetts municipalities. And so far, what we found is the majority of the GPS are either done townwide in the whole fleet, which is what we're moving towards, or specifically the DPW.
Littleton implemented it through their smartphones, I think, was how they did it.
Right.
Right.
They do it through phone.
And Ms. Knox is looking at the phone, there's the phone component, and then there's the transponder. The other piece is that we've found in most instances, there was really no pushback from the unions. And as I offer in my memo, there were two standing precedences, the Duxbury case and the City of Worcester case, where it is not subject to impact bargaining because there's not a change in work conditions. And the final piece is getting a presentation, which you've asked for, Mr. Chair, which I think is good for the public. A lot of these companies want to do these webinars, and with our luck with the technology, so we're going to have somebody, a company, come in on the 5th, when we meet on the 5th, to do a presentation. So again, I think if we look at the DPW piece as sort of the case study to gather, implement, we do the public presentation on the 5th so that the public and folks can ask questions about the technology and the survey. Will then be in a position to recommend the best option for the whole fleet. And I know that the fire chief does not object to it on his equipment. I firmly believe that if the town ultimately decides to do it, it should be the whole
Yeah,
fleet.
I mean, it has to make sense.
or
financially,
not
too.
do it, you know. But I think I do appreciate DPW in the sense that we can work out some of these questions.
And it also, I'm sorry, Gary, it also is, I know I've talked to other people that's shown that, you kind of look at it and you can almost, why did we make that trip 4 times? Or, I mean, just stuff that you're not maliciously doing, it's just kind of how it works. And you start thinking about, oh, why did I go that route? Or same with looking at it online for police departments. There's been a rash of break-ins over here. Well, where was the department and what type of, where were they spread out? I mean, just stuff like that. I think it could be a good tool for the chiefs to, kind of look at.
It really is a public safety tool. And
that's how I'm looking at it. I don't want to think this is Big Brother. I had it at a company that I worked at before I started my own business.
You have it, right?
We have it.
The only
I'm on it every day.
Now, my supply house, literally, I call and they say, well, he's getting off exit 32 because they can see the little red dot. He'll be at your job site in 5 minutes. I had a company where I worked at that had a fleet all over the state, and the only people who objected were the people who were abusing, because you can't. And, I mean, obviously, we're a lot more condensed here than we are, and something like that. But
it all depends on how you present it too. I mean, my people know that I don't use it against them. If I want to know where somebody is, because I might need them back, or they're supposed to be off of overtime by a certain time, or whatever it may be. I have that tool available instead of me getting in my car and driving around town looking for people. It's so much easier.
Sure.
But I still think it's a good idea. But I'm not sure about the cost, Robert.
it's something seemed wrong in that, doesn't it? In the monthly.
$4,000 initially for the pilot.
Wait, where did we?
And then the monthly fee seems.
That doesn't seem right.
Doesn't seem right.
$7,000 to $10,000 a month.
Oh, no, that.
Yeah,
through
I was
the
going to
chair.
say
That's my June 14th, 2013 memo.
I thought we were going back in the Wayback Machine.
Yeah. So
I was ready to nix it right here when I saw those.
No.
I believe the cost is about $100 per unit.
Okay.
And I think it's about, I want to say it's $30 a month per. And there's, there's different, if you sign a 2-year contract, the unit's free.
Yeah, and they do
the
speed
price
and
is
stuff like that
different.
too. I mean, it's
Yeah,
another
Yeah,
benefit.
so on the tanker truck, I look and I see where he stops, how long he stops, and then it shows his route, and whenever he speeds, the route turns from red to green. And there's a place on 290 where the speed limit drops.
And he doesn't.
Around that
Miles, it's always red.
Yeah.
like around that curve.
Yeah, that original figure was for all 28 vehicles.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, that makes more sense because I saw that too and said, what are we doing
Yeah,
here?
that's the older memo.
And this would be all 28 vehicles? Right.
Oh, no, what I propose, my
Oh, you said
pilot
that
proposal was
just
we
for the
could do 4
Four
initial,
divisions.
and see how those work and see how we manage them. Because there, there is an issue with, you get all this information, now what do you do with it? Is it worth, is there a cost benefit?
Right, and there's also the smartphone option, which Cindy's looking at, so we want to find,
One of the issues with the smartphone, and I'm not an expert on this.
Yeah,
but
I'm not either.
I know Mass DOT.
Yeah, we remember those stories,
and
right?
guys would, they're supposed to.
Ziploc bag in a snowbank?
Or, well, they were supposed to wait in one place and go do something, and the guys would give all their phones to one truck, and then they'd go do
Yeah.
private routes. and
They
then come
prosecuted those guys too. They made
Yeah.
an example of them.
So they figure out things around that, whereas if it's anchored in a car or a truck, then
And
you
you-
know
yeah.
what's that truck is doing, but you don't necessarily know who's in that truck.
Sure. No, I think.
So what do you want, a motion?
I would respectfully, through the chair, just like the board to authorize this proposal.
Clarification, and we'll have
Yeah.
to talk about this if we decide to implement it.
Yeah.
Access obviously is going to be from Mark, and then I would assume Cindy would she need to be doing it, or would it be Mark, and then per request if you needed, I can't imagine
Yeah.
anybody's going to need to see it publicly. I mean, it's more just a tool for.
Right.
Or if we get a phone call that the snowplow flew by their house, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We can
The information would be to the respective department heads, and in the case of the police, there's even an extra layer, so it would be the chief.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just want to make sure,
Right.
there's no way to,
Right.
circumvent it and find out where all the police cars are at one
But
point.
to your point, Mr. Chairman, that information, in the event of an insurance claim
Would be public.
or litigation and so forth, could be requested. It
Sure.
becomes through the public records process.
Correct. Okay, and I'm sorry, I missed it. Do we have a time frame on it, or are we just gonna?
We're going to implement now and probably, what do you think? We didn't really discuss time.
I guess it would depend on the contract they want, right? I mean, the GPS
Yeah.
company.
I would say we should probably by Springtown meeting do
Yeah.
a report.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, that works for me.
Want a motion to approve a pilot program with the DPW for transponders? I think that'll be enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, just on selected vehicles by the DPW superintendent. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Chair says aye. Finally. Mark, thanks for stepping up with that, because this is.
Yeah, we got a tree down on Jack's, I could just.
Oh.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah,
I
we got
mean-
a few minutes, yeah.
Okay.
He's not
For
next.
anything else?
Well, Selectman Hillman
Oh,
about beaver control, new business.
All right.
But that, Mr. Chair, that concludes my report. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Robert. Gary, you're up. J-Boss.
I have really nothing new to report. We're gonna have a zoning presentation, changes in zoning up at the Dres, 4 different areas, and a possible super town meeting. Ed Starzak is gonna be here for next Tuesday's meeting. So we'll have to get him here at some point. It's more informational that he's starting the ball rolling, Mass Development is. Let the towns know what they want to do and how they want to go about doing it. Shirley, he's going to Shirley on Monday to present it there. I was gonna go, but we have a meeting. So, I'll get more information probably at our next J-Boss meeting in a couple of weeks, on what we're gonna do going forward. And again, it's changes to flip-flop in some of the open space up near Adams Circle, a change to Grant Road zoning to allow some commercial in certain parts of it, changes on the Shirley side near the fields that they want to put in a assisted living or a over 55 or something to that effect with some retail with it. And another change to the zoning where Vicksburg Square is to add healthcare offices type thing. So.
I have a quick question for you. And I brought this up when we met on the wastewater contract. Would it be circumventing J-Boss if we asked every once in a while for someone to come to one of our meetings? I mean, would that annoy other towns?
No.
Like I asked Ramirez when he was here, and he said, "Well, he goes, I don't mind, but I'm afraid that I'm kind of going beyond J-Boss." But I mean, I think it would be nice to come here and ask questions where we can ask questions with him here. I mean, I found out a lot of stuff when we met on the wastewater that I didn't know about.
No, we have every right to do that too. And you know, we've talked about before, even deck representatives, which we only have one now. Currently, we need to put somebody else on there. But you know, we hear dribs and drabs about the deck, and you know, it'd be nice to ask somebody what's coming up.
Well, that's it. I mean, when we spoke on the wastewater, and it was a very productive meeting, which I didn't think it was going to be. And then we obviously talked about, you know, I floated the idea, you want to end the Cold War, maybe you're going to start throwing some tax revenue at these towns, you know, like Shirley and whatnot. And, you know,
I brought that up at our last meeting.
Yeah, I mean, you vote on it, but you don't get anything.
Right.
Thanks.
Right.
But it would be nice if we could invite George or whoever, Marty Jones or whoever,
Sure.
If that's something that
Yeah,
you want
I
to.
don't think anybody would mind that.
No, I thought George was open to the idea. He was just more concerned about circumventing, you know,
If the other towns.
the other towns would.
J-Boss, no.
No. I don't think
Mr.
it'd be
Chairman,
an issue.
Selectman Luca, you were saying about a potential super town meeting, did they give any indication yet on a timeline for
Spring.
it? Just spring? Okay.
Yeah. It all depends on how. See, they want to have a lot of, you know, outreach with this. And
Sure.
You know, they just don't want to slam it down.
Yeah.
Well, they've seen how it's gone that way.
Right,
It hasn't
sure.
gone.
No, I
So-
just ask as terms of the
Yeah.
calendar and planning purposes.
No,
Yeah.
they were tending to want to push it toward the fall, but we kind of pushed back and said, you need to, you know, come and present it, and, you know, Harvard's big on getting the planning board involved and any changes, you know.
So assuming all the steps
It
were.
should be
would
spring.
Spring, okay.
Probably before our Springtown meeting, but I would think somewhere in the March to May timeframe, right
Okay.
now.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we want to?
And they'll pay for it.
That's much better. Do you want to ask George, or should we reach out to George and see if he can come to a meeting and kind of? I mean, is that something we have time to fit in?
Sure.
I mean, and like he explained a lot about the Jackson Road grant and what it's going to be done and how they got. And that's kind of what got us going on the grant writer stuff. And you know, he was explaining that to us. And
Should you'd like a general sort
I know
of
there's
deck
more
up,
to it, but
sort of an update on.
yeah,
the
I mean,
deck
I think it'd be nice to have him come and explain and you know,
Okay.
What's
because
hot, what's not.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Grand Road, the new housing.
Yeah.
The only thing we haven't even seen anything really at J-Boss, all we've seen what's in the paper.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Well, you're going to see nothing in the
And
paper
I know
tonight.
that they have a proposal
Right.
on Jackson Road, where the
Yes.
Verbic gate is to make that two-way.
Yeah, that's
They're
what they
gonna
got the
limit
grant
traffic
for.
going up further. Right.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I will,
And
reach
you
out
know,
to
and
him.
he had obviously offered, you know, asked about, you know, lessening the tension, and that obviously we can talk and
Well, I mean, you know, I'd like to talk maybe, you know, they got some recreation up there that we could use, maybe soccer fields.
Sure.
I mean, what can you
Yeah.
do to help us out? And
yeah, you get everything and we just get to vote on it. Thanks. I'm
No.
sorry, it's not their fault, but it's a
Yeah.
horrible agreement.
No,
I
you,
mean, we-
you
we-
said that before.
I mean,
yeah.
Shirley, that development in Shirley is fantastic, but if the town doesn't reap any tax revenue from it, it's,
They're trying to, with that kind of development, they're trying to help their own, see, it's driven by the Council of Aging
Mhm.
in Shirley. They're the ones that are driving this, and they're all behind it. Esalona's, I forget her first name,
Jackie.
Jackie. So they're pushing it.
Sure.
They did a presentation.
but I mean, if you're getting
Right,
retail
yeah.
space in there and stuff, and I mean,
Right.
you look at all the stuff that's in historical air up there that we just get to look at
Right.
and don't get a cent from. I mean,
Well, you
I
can
I
always
mean, I
go
know
with-
we could go, I mean, Frank's gonna come,
Access
Frank's
thing.
coming down the hill on his bike right now, I guarantee it, but, it's true. So it might be good to have George or whoever, I mean, whoever you think.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I will,
Somebody put together?
I will ask and see
Sure.
what their availability is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the stuff would be nice to hear, Bristol Myers Squibb and.
Sure.
They're talking about, the housing to support what they're having for businesses up there and, I mean, I think it's pretty exciting what they're trying to put together. I mean, it's just.
And I don't think a lot of it hurts
No, I don't
air.
know.
I think, a lot of people who live up there come to air, and vice versa, but that's how it works.
Well, I know a lot of businessmen in here benefit from what's up there,
Sure.
so-
Absolutely.
So it's a good thing.
All right. No, it's good. So Robert, if you could
Mhm.
reach out to George or whoever
Yep.
up there. And then, working group, did we discuss that?
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Okay. Mark, you gotta get going. I just,
Yeah.
No, I just, there's and this happened, I think around 5 o'clock, because I heard it on the scanner. Tree came down on Jackson by Howard Street, took out 2 telephone poles.
Oh,
So so Grid and Verizon are fighting over.
whose poles they are and when they'll get
Verizon
fixed.
says they're their poles, but
It's,
they're not doing anything until Grid gets the trees out of there.
thank God there was no big storms this summer.
Mhm.
So hopefully that'll be resolved by the morning, and then I'll get our guys to go up and clean stuff up.
So the tree just fell.
I guess
Old
it was an old tree.
Pretty breezy today.
Because I heard there was a loud bang, and then they were without power. That was kind of they were sending the fire and
Mhm.
police up there, so I didn't really hear what was going on the scanner, but said Doug went up and said it's kind of a big mess. It's a huge tree. It's all over the road. So Grid has to have a tree crew come in and cut it up before they get the wires out of it. And then Verizon will set the poles, and then Grid will put the power back up. So then we'll go up in the morning.
So they're gonna be out without power for a little bit
Yeah,
up in that area.
yeah.
Do you know how far down it is?
He said it was on Jackson near Howard in front of the apartment.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right.
Just quickly, I know we had talked about this before. Mark, have you gotten any more feedback from Concom on the issues at hand? I don't know if, did you have a chance to go out and look today? Look
Yes.
cheap?
I saw the biggest snapping turtle I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen him.
Attack me.
Yeah, it's like this, out by the railroad tracks by my house. He's like the size of a hood of a car.
It's
Yeah.
Well, to back up, about a little over a year ago, I hired Beaver Solutions to come in and do a beaver study looking at the main beaver dams in town. And as you know, there's different, some of them are private property, some of them are affecting DPW infrastructure, some
Sure.
are affecting personal property. And so then I presented that to the Conservation Commission, and they basically were hiring Beaver Solutions to do mitigation at 2 of the problem areas. One was Long Pond Dam, where beavers build up on top of the dam, and there's, I guess, some kind of a control net or something you can put around there so they can't keep doing that.
Great.
And then the other one was, I forget the name of that, it's above Upper Flanagan's. I think I
Pine
call it
Meadow?
Pine Meadow up in that area.
The one that blew?
Yeah, so that one's back and bigger than ever.
And
So
That's insane.
what Beaver Solutions' proposal is is to do a combination of trapping and flow control devices.
Mhm.
And so he gave us prices to do with all of the dams. Those were the two the conservation was gonna deal with. And I was gonna deal with Rosewood, but I didn't have money in last year's budget. And I was waiting for conservation to do their project and see how it worked. But I'm thinking that, I'm not really sure where they are in the process. It's hard to communicate with conservation because they're not around every
Yeah.
day.
Well, I guess.
And its trapping season is just beginning.
Exactly.
So what I'll probably do is look at my biggest problem is the end of Rosewood. And
That goes underwater, right? Don't you have infrastructure?
Our sewer's underwater, which is a problem from both a maintenance point of view and an infiltration point of view. So I think we'll do some trapping and some flow control there. Upstream on the other side of the rail trail is also a problem.
Yeah, there's some big dams up there, so.
And that's flooding our sewer that comes down from the hospital. So, cross our fingers, we haven't had a problem with those sewer, but if we did,
What do you do?
We're gonna get the, you have a boat, right, Robert? We can paddle on.
Well, wouldn't that qualify
Yeah,
for
Ford
reserve fund
Focus.
transfer? Wouldn't that
What?
qualify for reserve fund transfer? If Mark had to set some traps? and-
Well, yeah, and I
No.
gotta look at my budget and see, I know I put some money in the wastewater budget for the beaver control, but I haven't put money in other budgets, because I know the Conservation Commission has some money, but I'm not sure what they're doing with it. I think we've got a bigger picture, because you've got issues with the Board of Health. They have to approve some of these actions. It's as part of the hazard mitigation plan that we developed. So Chief Pedrazi would be important to have him involved in it. The DPW and the Conservation Commission. I think we need to put all our heads together and come up with a plan that's implemented.
Sure.
Not just.
And sustained. I mean, you can trap. I don't know how many Sabas took out behind you guys when the lake was plugged. That's what caused Spec Pond to be 20 feet higher than it should have. There's a building problem, in my opinion, and you would know more about it, is the Madigan Pond, which is privately owned. I mean, there's not a drop of water running through Bennett's Brook. And it's also dammed up behind the Stone Yard, which goes into Spectacle Pond. So there's no flow into Spectacle Pond, but my concern is another blowout there and having that. So how do we go and light a fire under Mr. Madigan's people?
I think with Madigan, I know they have done some mitigation in the past, because we've actually helped them get the debris out of there.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a matter of the DPW approaching them and saying, well, can we get permission to do this? Because I think when it's on top of a dam, if there's a dam on top of a dam, it's not necessarily a dam you can't remove, whereas the dam on Rosewood, we cannot legally remove.
Sure.
So we can trap them all, but we can't.
You can't remove the dam?
No.
No,
It just doesn't make any sense.
You gotta save the beaver, man.
Yeah, the last I heard, in central Massachusetts, there were 30,000 beaver dams.
You ever remove one? It's fun. Anyway, I guess everybody would be looking at a different. I guess I go back in time, but if there was a kid fishing on Oak Ridge, or a small car there when that tsunami came through, we'd be in a whole different ball game here.
We almost lost a police cruiser and the police officer in the cruiser.
Yeah, so I mean,
really let loose.
And that's Madigan's. I don't know. There's probably enough area to consume it if it did let loose, but I mean that's kind of a scary thing looking out your driver's side window.
That's gone up quite a bit, because
it has.
I watch it on that duck house there.
Yep. And it's going,
it's as high as
and
it's
then,
ever been.
like I said, the people at Bennett's Brook are loving it because it's dry back there. But I don't know, does that affect water quality at Spec if you're not getting water through at some point?
Well, it does. Luckily, we have a filter plant. We have wells that are fairly deep. But what happens is that water that's behind the dam, I mean, you guys have heard
Gets
beaver
in.
fever.
Yeah.
Well, that's from beavers being in water that gets in your drinking water supply, and probably from dogs licking,
Sure.
lapping up the water and things like that. So the more you turn that over, the better the water quality is
Sure.
and the water resources.
In the railroad one, we're in agreement, that is a railroad.
Yeah, and to do anything there,
Yeah, no,
even if it wasn't railroad property, my experience with the railroad is to do anything where you have to get on railroad property, you need to have a whole bunch of permits
and I think
permissions
when
and flagmen.
When I responded to you too, I think that if we did anything and something happened, you know what's gonna happen. So I guess the best, and I know I spoke to Carly because it's state land on the other side, closest to but the railroad does maintain it to some degree, but there is a big issue there, I think more with the pipe, I think, than anything going on.
The upstream side on the opposite side of the tracks looked like it had been dammed up for quite a while. So,
Yeah. They
you
said
can see they pushed some of the debris up off to the side, but it looks like they fill it back in pretty quick.
Right after the flooding, they had to come out because after everything drained, my road and your road never went down, so the rail came out and mucked it out with the big truck, and then the pipe is that debris is, I mean, the banking is getting closer and closer to the tracks, and like I said, they were concerned a few years ago about that culvert collapsing, which is
there's nothing structurally left in the culvert.
well, that's the concern, and normally I would have said, oh, it'll support it, and
Well, this I would guess that there's enough soil over that it's spreading out the load, so that's not ever going to collapse.
yeah, I thought that too, but then
I should say that it could collapse, but the tracks wouldn't get displaced.
But it could derail.
It would definitely plug.
yeah, or they said even a slight divot could send a train.
So
And-
there is a potential safety issue.
Yeah, so I don't know, was the chief look at it today?
So both Chief Pedrazi and I went and looked at it today.
Okay.
And he did take a picture of your turtle if you're interested.
I've seen him out there, he's a little scary, yeah.
But, so I'm gonna contact the engineering group at Pan Am and see if it's on their radar screen.
It was teed up, they had a company from Maine that was gonna come down and repipe it, so I guess everybody's at a loss at where it went. So hopefully they can revive that. Okay, so there's not much we can do except what you're doing unless we put the pressure on
like I said,
Concom?
I met with the beaver trapper last week and told him to stand by.
That's Mike Callahan?
No, Jack Norton.
Oh, Jack, yeah, Jack's a good guy. Okay, I mean, I just don't want something bad happening. The Oak Ridge thing's scary.
It was very scary.
Yeah, like I said.
That is bigger than better than
Inexpensive.
It's huge.
Yeah, I mean, and they claimed there was sabotage there. You can't go out and pull a stick and make a dam like that go. I mean, they fail sometimes.
I would guess that dam is at least 8 feet high.
So 8 feet of water times.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
So that could happen again.
Biggest pond in air, probably.
So we need to be a little more proactive. I mean, I know you guys are, but we need Concom on board here to get this. It'll never be rectified, but we can get it manageable before something bad happens. All right.
Thanks.
All right, Mark.
Anything else?
No.
All right.
All right.
Great.
Nice to see you. Thank you. Are we, okay.
Selectman Luca had.
What are we gonna do about the building inspector?
Oh, yes.
Can we hire a new one, like a full-time one?
Yes. You know what? I'm glad you brought this up because I was gonna if you didn't. We have had it approved twice at town meeting, overwhelmingly. We have, I wouldn't say caved as a board, but we have relented based on what
Try
we've,
to work around.
what we've heard from the building inspector. And then the building inspector has now been hired in another community, not announcing it to us 3 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
The building inspector has not done a damn thing in following up on property enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
The deadline at McNiff's, he never made another visit. Chief Murray's been on that, thanks to the chief. And the community there's so much going on, but people can't get what they need. I mean, and I think that...
I agree with you. Preaching to the choir, you saw my email.
Yeah, no, I just think that, and we're not going to, and I said this before, I mean, an assistant's great,
Yeah.
but you're not gonna have a qualified assistant is not gonna come in part-time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Someone of that caliber is gonna have a full-time job or whatnot. So and maybe Mr. Valenti wants to apply for the full-time job, but he works in 4 other towns as it is now. And I'm not even gonna bring up the training schedule, which seems to always be on Tuesdays, if you've noticed.
On Thursday?
Or Thursdays, which we pay for, and we can dispute that, and he can more than gladly come, because I'm done fooling around with this. We've punted this for too long. I think we do what the townspeople voted for unanimously twice before I was on the board, and then once again, and put out a proposal for a full-time building inspector with, property enforcement, however we want to write that up, but and there's other issues that I don't want to go into with private citizens that we've heard about and stuff like that, in times, but that's, I don't want to
This is more of a coverage thing than making sure that everybody gets, I mean, with the amount of money you're paying for permits, you don't get the service that you're paying for at all.
No.
I know you got words of wisdom, Robert.
Well, not words of wisdom, but through the chair, not to put a wrinkle into it.
But he's going to put a wrinkle into it.
It's incumbent upon me to remind the board, which I know you're aware, that the position is recognized under the collective bargaining agreement of ASME 93 with the town of Ayer. And therefore, it raises the issues. It's a position under the, I'm just saying, under the collective.
No, I agree
Right.
with you, and we should have fought harder, and I apologize for that too, for voting for that, but
So
you just have to explain to me how anybody can justify a department head being in the union, and I know, I'm sure, but I don't care. I'm willing to fight this fight. How can Mark discipline or Chief discipline Murray or Pedrazi discipline their employees if need be, or do what they need to do when they're in the same union that their employees are in? It makes absolutely no sense. And this same employee wanted out of this union until it became apparent that it could protect his employment here. And I got to be honest with you, we're here for the betterment of the town, and if the betterment of the town is a full-time building inspector.
No, and Mr. Chair, I understand that. I'm just saying that the board just needs to be aware that as it stands, it is under the collective bargaining agreement, and you will hear from ASME 93, and they'll argue.
Tell them we said hello.
That it's subject to impact bargaining, and subject to negotiation.
Okay.
So can we set up a meeting with them?
Yes.
Can we advertise for the position?
I think the first step would be to set up an impact bargaining with the union.
Well,
Because if we don't proceed in that manner with impact bargaining, the union will file an unfair labor practice, and then all efforts that the board is seeking to do will get tied up into that whole process.
What is the clarification of the position in the union?
Say that again?
What is the distinct clarification of the position that's in the union?
The building inspector is in the union. The assistant building inspector is not.
Which should be just the opposite, if anything.
Right.
Right. And that goes back to 2000.
What about building commissioner?
It isn't in there.
Right.
But I don't know if there's a difference between a commissioner. Can we find that out?
I feel like we're not, I don't mean it's us, we're wasting time hiding behind the curtain because of the union, and we have no traction here, and we're not getting, we're not getting, it's not 1984, there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of other things going on in terms of,
right. No, and I don't think the board has hidden behind it. When you mentioned it, it's true. It's
not the board. I'm talking about the
issue.
The issue
It's
itself.
been a 2-year issue. The first was to pursue the assistant route, and there were no applicants and so forth. And even now, based on what's available, there have been no applicants. Okay. Then we went through the whole collective bargaining process where that was a position of the town, as you mentioned. So, exactly, I mean, I think that the board, if the board is gonna make a policy decision, which it sounds like it is, that this is gonna be full-time, then let's follow the steps, which would be, the first one would be to meet with the union to bargain the impact.
And I mean, it's been, I mean, I know everybody didn't vote for it, but I mean, I think it was pretty unanimous in both instances. I recall it not being much objection.
Yeah.
So we're not doing what the people have asked us to do based on the fact that he's in the union, which great for him, but that can't work both ways. You know, he wants to be in the union, not want to be in the union. But we also, I have issues with him taking another position in another town on top of what he's doing here. And I don't want to get into individual per se, but I don't think we're getting the services we need in this town as the way we're growing and progressing and trying to save money and lure business and keep our tax.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe we can expand upon the current job, or maybe we can demand that he does spend 2 days here and.
That's fine. I mean, I have issues.
Maybe we can share with another town to augment what we have.
I think honestly, what works, and every other town has a couple.
Yeah.
I mean, and obviously we're much smaller, but we do have the most building going on right now per square mile.
Yeah, Westford's up there too.
Yeah, but Westford has 3 inspectors.
Yeah.
Acton has 3, Concord has 3. I think it helps the town as a whole. I think you could maybe revamp that office, so maybe there's one secretary that handles building, conservation, you know what I mean? Just to, let's consolidate and make it so if Ernie needs some conservation paperwork or building stuff on a Tuesday or Monday, he doesn't have to wait till Friday or the following Tuesday when someone's in the office. It's just, you come down here, you talk to somebody, it's done. Or you need an
Somebody's
inspection.
here, you call up the backup, say, listen, can you go out too?
Exactly. It's just, I just don't feel it. I mean, we get the complaints, and like I said, the public doesn't
I
see
mean,
them,
we
but-
gotta get active somehow and get
So
something done.
So the expectation of the Board of Selectmen is that the office would be, if you will, 5 days a week, full-time.
Full-time, 40
And
hours.
then, all right, I will set something up with the union.
And if we're serious about property enforcement, which I think, seeing where we've taken it, I think that also lies, there also. I mean, we've got an inspector that has not handed out a fine, not one single fine, in 18 years. So, and there's not a person in this state that will tell you that Gabe is not one of the most knowledgeable people about building. I'm not trying to diminish that in any way. I think it's time to, maybe he wants to be the full-time inspector here. But I think we need to do it.
Well, why, the proper course is I will set up something with the union.
Okay.
In the spirit and honor of the contract.
Sure, no, I
Yeah.
understand that. But we're not trying to circumvent the system here. I think we're just trying to do what's right for
The town.
the community. And we tried to work with the part-time, the clerical. You just can't offer enough money to cover Gabe and get somebody in here to give up, most people.
I thought you could.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you might get someone that was, close to retirement or something, you live, 4, 5, 6 years, but it's the part-time thing that I think makes it problematic. And the pay, the first initial pay was.
No, I mean, the second time we upped it. to
Yeah, no, yeah.
$25 or whatever it was.
Okay.
So is that something we can
Mm-hmm.
talk about?
Yep.
Again?
I will contact AFSCME 93 tomorrow.
Can you see if there's a difference between commissioner and inspector?
Yeah, that is a good point, because I know various towns that have, there's the commissioner, and then there's the building inspector. A lot of times you don't see the commissioner. We don't need that here because we're not big enough, but like Acton, very rarely do you see the commissioner. You see most of the building inspectors, and there's a lot more on their plate now too. They also do mechanical inspections now too. This was something that wasn't there. That's supposed to be investigating all the HVAC systems and
They have stretch codes now. that are
stretch
different.
codes. I mean, and the stretch codes are just through the roof now. So I mean, this is stuff that energy, consumption.
Yeah.
They need to, there's a lot to what they do,
Mhm.
and I don't think it's 3 hours a day anymore.
Okay.
All right. I'm glad we can hopefully we can discuss that whenever we meet again,
Again,
and hopefully resolve it. Thanks for bringing it up, Gary.
no problem.
Carly, minutes?
September 16th.
Make a motion to approve September 16th meeting minutes.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Well done.
That's all you got for us?
That's it.
All right,
Jim, can I ask you a quick
sure.
question? I wonder if you could update us on what's going on with the forestry property, the 61?
Yeah, do you want to, I don't know what,
Yeah.
there hasn't been too much. I know
Well,
there's been some back and forth, but
Mr. Chairman, the town council did issue the notice and the demand a violation, and to my knowledge, as of now, the town has received no response or no compliance with that. So on Monday, October 20th, that will be the second item on the
Okay.
ES is as far as the next steps.
And to clarify this again, the town, or at least I don't, I want to speak for the town, we don't have a position on it. We just want this process to be followed to the letter of the law.
Right.
For both the builder's sake, the resident's sake, and obviously the town's sake. So I guess I want to clarify that too, that this isn't, we're doing this for a certain reason. It's just the way that the state mandates that it operates, and
Right, but
we're gonna follow that.
the issue of the notice and the demand,
Sure.
There's been no response, so we will discuss on
Yep.
Monday.
Okay. Anything else?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. Good night, everybody.